Steve and Jill here.
Hello.
Welcome to the Land Academy Show, entertaining land investment talk. I'm Stephen Jack Butella.
And I'm Jill DeWitt, broadcasting from sunny Southern California.
Today, Jill and I talk about how to get past the fear of bigger deals. You know, right before the show, Jill and I kind of look at each other and say, what's the point here? And this is what happened with this one.
What's the point here?
She looked at me and I looked at her and I said, want to just save it for the show? And she said, yeah.
Heck yeah.
I have a lot to say.
Yep.
So before we get into it, let's take a question posted by one of our members on the landinvestors.com online community. It's free.
Eric asks, hi, what's the typical amount of time it takes from the time I get a confirmed mailing email from offers to owners to the mail hitting prospects' mailbox? I mailed a Tennessee county on May 7th, and I was thinking it would be delivered by now. Now, I don't know what day this was put in, so I can't actually say that. My own tracking letter that I stuck in the group hasn't hit my office yet either. Thanks, Eric. So I think it's traditionally around 2 weeks by the time 020, because here's how the process goes. You submit either a completed PDF to offers to owners, and if it gets in like by, I think it's 2 o'clock, whatever that day, Pacific time, it gets in the mail that day. So you're either doing that or you're submitting them your data and your template, and we do the mail merge for you and put it into a PDF. And then you just review it, make sure it checks out. And then again, if it's by like I think 2 o'clock that day, I have to double check with Omar and the team, but then it goes in the mail that same day. Now, you know the next steps better than I do from that.
Here's the man way to answer that question.
Thanks a lot.
From the time that it hits the mail,
Thanks, babe.
it takes 2 to 3 weeks to get the offer. That's why it's called offers to owners, for the owners to actually get the mail and open it and make it, and talk about it with their spouse. 2 to 3 weeks. Then you can expect a week of people ranting and raving about the fact that they don't like your offer, and then you can expect signed offers back. In the bitter end, 30 days. You will be buying property 30 days from the time that it goes, and that's as fast as it's going to get, unless you send out first class mail or some other mechanism, and then it becomes prohibitively, in my opinion, expensive.
Not worth it.
And I believe that that first class mail is an illusion.
I agree.
I don't believe
I do.
that.
I don't think it makes
I don't
any
believe in
difference
first class
home.
mail.
No,
I think
I
it all gets
don't.
put in the same, because we've tried all this stuff.
I totally agree. I got to tell you, even the stupid overnighting things, I'm getting to the point where why am I paying to overnight this? It didn't get there any faster than if I would have just done the regular thing. This is ridiculous.
When you think about it,
no.
It doesn't make sense that there's a separate section for special mail that's more expensive.
Yeah. We're going to put you aside and wait 3 days. No, they're not. It's ridiculous. No, but that's funny. And you're right. But once you start the process, it's only that initial first time you send out that mailer. Now you got it going. And you should have a system at this point. So there are no lulls, going forward. If anything, you realize, you know what? I can handle more volume. I'm going to send more. Or you go, whoa, my gosh, that was too much. I think I'm going to dial it back a little bit.
What you really, in a perfect world, what you should do is you should have a calendar, and you should arbitrarily pick a number or a date, that works for your schedule, where you send out, and on the 15th of every month, I send out 1,500 letters or some number like
Something
that.
like that.
And you should, until you're getting so much deals you can't handle it, which is kind of leads into this topic, actually.
Kind of does. We have members that go nuts. They have once a week, here it comes, man. Every Friday, it's like a couple thousand units.
I long had to stop sending land mailers out long ago.
We've had
We still send out very consistently, practice what I preach here about houses. Because it's just so, the last house we closed on, we made almost $70,000.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we've got one now that I think we will clear maybe $200,000 on this. So, and that's, you have to jam the mail packed on that. You can't walk away from that.
Exactly.
So, Jill, how did we get past the fear of doing bigger deals? This is the meat of the show.
Just send out the mail. Then you don't have a chance. And that's, I hadn't even thought about this before the show, but as we're talking about sending mail and because of the question, there's one way to get past the fear. Just flat out research the bigger property types. When I say bigger deals, usually it relates to bigger money. It's, it might be bigger property or a specialized property, but results in a higher dollar amount. That's usually where people get uncomfortable, because it doesn't, you might be really great, $5,000 or $10,000. I have no trouble spending that all day long kind of thing. But when you're talking, $20,000, $40,000, $50,000, it's like, oh boy, I want to really make sure I'm, doing this right. So one way is go do your research. You know what you're doing. You've already learned how to do it. You're going to look at this different property type. All the different things that are going to go into it. And looking at the numbers, you're going to go, yep, I know this area. It's worth more. Here's why. Download that data. Send out the offers at that price. And honestly, don't look back. That's one way to do it. It's just to dive in with both feet. What do you think, Stephen? What's the guy way?
So I was a big fan of mantras.
That's true.
If you're in this business or you're thinking about getting into this business,
Yep.
the next time you're looking at yourself in the mirror, I want you to say this.
Yep.
You know how to buy undervalued real estate.
Yep.
Think about that. That's amazing. You know how to buy a $250,000 house for $200,000. That you should be set up. If you want to be a billionaire because of this one concept, you will be.
Brings a little tear to my eye. Thank you,
Really?
Stephen. Yes.
Does it? You're just teasing. You know how to buy undervalued real estate. That's just truly
powerful.
fantastic and amazing. And you're done.
Yeah.
You're like done financially. So, here's where the problem starts. Now that we all know that about ourselves, right? We figured it all out. Or if you're thinking about getting in the business, you will figure it out in this group and with all the stuff that we provide. So that's a given now. Here's where everybody gets hooked, tripped up in the beginning. I have an accounting background. People, as humans, think in cash flow, and it'll hold you back. If you can't get over this, it's going to hold you back forever.
Right.
If I have $82 in my checking account, I start making $82 decisions. If I have $82,000 in my checking account, maybe I can buy some bigger property. And if I have access to $18 million, like all of you do in this group, you don't realize it for some reason, but you do. That's what LandTank is, landtank.com. Mm-hmm. You have access to $82 million just by being in this group. Then you start making different decisions.
That's beautiful. And you're right.
So that's how you get past the fear of bigger deals by there's in accounting, there's accrual basis and cash basis. Cash basis is revenue comes in, expenses go out. As you write the check, cash basis. Accrual, you have to get over this cash mentality, like I don't have enough money.
Right.
Everybody who, we've all been out with people or we all have friends who are like, I just don't have any money.
Yeah.
And that's just, when you say that to yourself 60 times,
yeah,
you're going to have no money.
That's true. That's very true. I believe that totally.
That's how you get past the fear
Yeah.
of bigger deals. You just got to stop thinking like that.
Yeah, and just start doing it. We joked about that at the first live event. Where we
Yeah.
came up with, and a lot of people walked away from that going, all right, I got to add a zero. I think that's one of the two things people walked away from. One was adding a zero, and two, they left with partners to do some of these bigger deals. And that's a great way to get over the fear too. If you're doing it together and you have another pair of eyes looking at it to make sure you're not making a mistake, that's great too. Or helping fund it. Like you just said in LandTank. That is LandTank, by the way. There you go.
And we will release later this year House Tank.
And once you get past it, once you do one or two, you're like, I got this. Because think of it, you forget, by the way, before you bought your first property, you were probably afraid of doing that. You got past that. Now you have 10. Now you've done 20 deals. You know how this goes. So doing bigger deals is not nuts. And it's less work.
I started out in commercial real estate, buying and selling healthcare facilities, nursing homes, and assisted living buildings, and occasionally a hospital, sometimes post-acute hospitals and all that. So I didn't have, I had no money then. Right. So, but my job was, and I took responsibility for locating properties that were undervalued. That's how I learned how to do all this stuff. Did I buy them myself? Eventually, but not in the first 40 or 50 deals.
I love
And
it.
none of those deals would have gotten done if they weren't good deals. None of them. There aren't people walking around saying, I really need to spend this money. Well, maybe there are in Palo Alto, where people just need to spend money for some reason because they have a publicly traded company and have to make announcements, which, by
Right.
the way, is a great place to be if you have that kind of mentality.
Right.
But, if you can buy undervalued real estate, like all of us can,
Right.
you can do the biggest deal imaginable.
Yep. That should be on our business cards, by the way. I was really thinking about that. I'm like, that's a good way to introduce yourself at a dinner party. Like, hi, what do you do? I buy undervalued real estate. I know how to do that.
Boy, the conversation's
done.
not going to end there, though.
Right. I know that's the
What
problem.
the hell do you mean you buy undervalued real estate?
Just that. Anyway, will you pass the chips?
Jill can do that.
I
'cause she's
could do that.
dripping with diamonds.
I could do that. Pass the chips, please.
Draped in diamonds
I know.
constantly. You are.
I know.
I know.
Keeping my hands down.
Somebody recently said to me that real estate is like man jewelry.
I like that. That's really good. Yeah, you're right. That's cool. That's so
It's
funny.
like I own 80 acres in Montana. That's like a man, and a woman's version of that is I just got a 1.5 carat diamond. It's the same kind of thing.
What
you
is?
can hang your hat on it.
I'm just thinking about this topic. You and I don't. Here's what I think. You and I traditionally appear fearless in anything that we do. And I think that you especially, there's so much research and knowledge and checking that goes into something before we do it that people don't realize. So if you have a fear of doing bigger deals, then spend some time on them. Why don't you look at some case studies? Look at some other members in the deals that they're doing. You know what's going on. So if you put some more research into it, not too much research, by the way, because we don't want you getting hung up there. But, I mean, what do you think, Stephen?
I think this.
Okay.
If you buy an undervalued piece of real estate, I'm gonna give you like 4 examples.
Okay.
Someone's gonna want it.
We know that.
And so now your job is to find that person. So here's one example. I found a farmer just passed away on the west side of Phoenix, and he and his family own, they don't farm it. They just lease it out to a big farm. The guy passes away, and all of his children or his wife or whomever, they're like, oh, I don't want this. I don't want to deal with this real estate anymore. I never wanted to when he was alive. And you magically had a database of about 22 or 30 people that are the acquisition people for home developers, like Shea Homes or Toll Brothers. Big. You magically had a database, CRM, and with their text, you had their cell numbers in there. Someone's going to buy that property, period. And so you have to dream like that. It starts with a dream, or an example, or a what if kind of thing.
Right.
If you buy a long-term care facility in Minnesota that someone's just done with, or they're tired of it, or it's part of their exit strategy, or they're retiring, and it's worth 80% of actually or if you fill it up to 100% occupancy, right now it's at 80%, it's worth X, and you can buy it for 80% of that, someone's going to want it. It's just all about finding that person who's going to want it, and it's easy. You know who wants property like that? People who want other properties just like it.
It's true.
It's the same with rural vacant land, and it's certainly the same with houses. So it's all just a matter of, no matter how big the deal is, finding the person that wants to buy it. And the person that's going to want to buy it is somebody who already owns property just like it.
Yep.
Successfully.
So you're just saying reach out. Once you reach out and get to know those people and know that they exist, that helps you get over the fear. Because that's really it. I mean, and that's true. You don't want to buy something going, now what do I do with it?
Well, you never.
I saw the value. I hope somebody else does.
What you never want
Yeah.
to do is say, there's only $82 in my checking account.
Right.
So I only can buy a property that's $82.
Yes.
You laugh, Joe.
I know.
But that's what people
I
do.
know.
And not $82 is a bad example.
I
Let's say
know.
$5,000.
I know.
I have $5,000 in the bank. I'm only going to buy a $2,500 property
I know.
because I need the other $2,500 because I have bills coming up next month.
Right.
And I really believe that's what happens.
I agree.
What you should be saying is this. You should beat your chest, send out some mail wherever you think it's logical, and start reselling the property to other people who have like-kind properties in that market, A, or B, if you want to close on it, which we advocate,
Right.
call us.
Yep.
That's what deal funding is.
Yep.
There's way more people in this group that have hordes of money that
Yep.
want to invest with you
Yep.
than you really think.
Because they know how you found the property. They know it's good.
They know it's a good deal.
They know.
They're not
That's the
scouring.
reason why. That's part of the reason why. Like Land Tank is a closed group. It's just for us. And it's just for our members.
They're not scouring the
Mm-hmm.
MLS, wondering, if that's a good deal.
Nope.
So that's how you get past the fear of bigger deals. In fact, there are some people now, because we've been talking about this topic on our Thursday calls, we have a webinar for our group that's closed. And we've been preaching this, like, just stop it. There's nothing but you have a captive audience.
Exactly.
Look, if you buy 80 acres in Montana for 50% of what it's worth, or in our case, 20 to 30%, people are going to come out of and you talk about it in our group,
Right.
they're going to come out of the woodwork.
Yep.
So once you do a couple deals like that, it's over.
Exactly.
I've never had an issue with that.
Nope.
Have you?
Nope.
I sold a portfolio of post-acute hospitals in Ohio in the early 90s to somebody that owned guess what? They owned a bunch of post-acute hospitals in Ohio. They just wanted more.
Right. Part of the reason
I made almost $1 million.
Well, you know what it's worth, and then B, the way we buy it, I don't worry about it too because we're paying cash for it. So if it doesn't sell fast, by the way, it's because of something I did. I did not post it for sale. I did not. Which usually that's it. I'm not letting people know it's available.
In a sentence,
Mm-hmm.
that's why I chose you to be my mate.
Thank you.
Because you take responsibility for yourself. You take your responsibility for your own happiness. You don't get up in the morning and look over the other side of the bed and say, that guy's not making me happy. And believe me, I've been in beds like that.
Got it. Nope, that doesn't go on at all. And vice versa. Thank
know.
you. Thank you very much. All right.
Oh, she just kicked me under the table. Well, you've done it again. You spent another 15 minutes or 20 minutes, I guess, listening to the Land Academy show. Join us next time for the episode called Finance Friday with Stephen, Jill, and Justin.
That's going to be fun because we haven't done that in a while with him. And we answer your questions posted on one of our online communities. Check out landinvestors.com or on houseacademy.com. They are free.
You are not alone in your real estate ambition. Where did that go sideways for you that I deserve a little kick like that?
No, I just feel like we're beating the dead horse at that point.
Oh, okay.
That's all. That's it. No, I wanted to tell you something funny, by the way. And when I wrote down this topic and the fear of bigger deals, I listened to a show today on my car. It was about, and this woman, for people with the fear of dating, check it out.
Fear of dating?
Check this out. This is her business model. I think it's kind of cool. You reach out to her. She has a couple different services. One where she'll analyze your dating profile. Two, she'll have a mock date with you and find out what's wrong with
gee.
you.
Oh my God.
Isn't this
There's a
great?
show there.
Isn't this great? And then
Oh my
three,
gosh.
she'll
You
take
gotta-
a.
she gotta
she'll-
film that stuff.
She does the well. She has a whole business here, and I forgot her name. I'll have to go look it up. Anyway, and then she will take it to this. If you want the grand package, if you will, she will help you make sure you're on the right dating websites. She'll even go in and ghost. Write and ghost text for you to help you get that date and get over whatever hurdle and get your foot in the door, if you will, and stuff. And it's
So whatever relationship gets developed is all built on lies.
well, this is the question that the person said. Well, wait a minute. If you're doing, she's like, no, I really get to know the person, and I want to make sure that I'm helping them properly convey, hopefully, how wonderful and how awesome they are. They just can't vocalize it or get it out there. I don't know. But she said she had a couple things one of the things too, she's like, well, I'm looking at their profile. Everybody needs a better picture. That's number one. I don't care who you are. Go get a professional photograph.
I disagree with all this.
She said,
You know what?
really?
I want to talk about this for a minute.
All right. It was just so funny.
Everybody has experienced seeing I'm sure we're perfect
Yeah.
examples of this, like seeing somebody on the internet and put their pictures plastered all over it, and then you meet them and it's like, that guy doesn't look like that at all.
Well, I didn't say don't get an.
So no,
make
you
it
don't
a
never
good-
get professional
Okay, how about
pictures.
this? It shouldn't be a stupid selfie on your phone where it's washed out and blurry and,
The
and you're
last thing I
hiding
want to
something.
do is go out with a
It
girl
should
that's been
show that you
somebody,
have a
some
wart on your
professional,
nose.
some professional woman's been texting me for 3 weeks, and then I go out with this person, and it's like, what do you know? There's nothing there. I want the person that was texting me.
Maybe though, you need to meet them. Maybe they don't. Maybe there's wonderful people out there. You're not even getting that opportunity yet because you already discounted them. Give them a chance.
I say let nature take its course.
Give them a chance. I gave you a chance. I'm just kidding.
Give peace a chance.
Give them a chance. She's naming off these websites, these dating websites. I'm like, I've never even heard of them. How? I'm like, okay. It was really funny.
Somebody
None of them
told
were
me
Match.
Years and years and years and years ago,
Yeah.
if you want to have a successful date, just shut the hell up. That's it. As a man, that's all you have to do is just let her talk about herself.
That's never changed.
You look super pretty today. How's your day going? And then you can sit back and order a couple scotches and have a beautiful life. And that's like some of the best advice I've ever gotten.
We're going to end on that. Wherever you're watching, wherever you're listening, please subscribe and rate us there. We are Steve and Jill.
Information
And inspiration.
to buy undervalued property.